صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Chapter on the Ghazwa, that is, Battle of Dhat-ur-Riqa. This was the Ghazwa carried on by the Muslims against the tribes of Muharib, Khasafa, from Banu Thalaba, from Ghatafan. The Prophet, peace be upon him, halted at Nakhl. This Ghazwa took place after the conquest of Khaybar, as Abu Musa came to Al-Madinah from Ethiopia after the Ghazwa of Khaybar. Footnote: since it has become certain that Abu Musa participated in the Ghazwa of Dhat-ur-Riqa, since his arrival at Al-Madinah coincided with the Ghazwa of Khaybar, we infer that the Ghazwa of Dhat-ur-Riqa took place after that of Khaybar. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullah, may Allah be pleased with them, the Prophet, peace be upon him, led his companions in fear prayer in the 7th Ghazwa, that is, the Ghazwa of Dhat-ur-Riqa. Ibn Abbas said, the Prophet, peace be upon him, offered the fear prayer at a place called the Qarad. Footnote: fear prayer means salah, prayer performed at the same time of battle when the Muslims confront the enemy. Jabir said that the Prophet, peace be upon him, led the people in the fear prayer on the day of Muharib and Tha'laba, that is, the day of the battle of Dhat-ur-Riqa. Jabir added, the Prophet, peace be upon him, set out for the battle of Dhat-ur-Riqa at a place called Nakhl, and he met a group of people from Ghatafan, but there was no clash between them. And the people were afraid of each other, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, offered the 2 rak'ah of the fear prayer. Narrated Salama, I fought in the battle of the Prophet, peace be upon him, on the day of Al-Qarad. Narrated Abu Burda, Abu Musa said, we went out in the company of the Prophet, peace be upon him, for a Ghazwa, and we were 6 persons, having 1 camel, which we rode in rotation. So, due to excessive walking, our feet became thin, and my feet became thin, and my nails dropped. And we used to wrap our feet with the pieces of cloth. And for this reason, the Ghazwa was named Dhat-ur-Riqa, as we wrapped our feet with rags. When Abu Musa narrated this hadith, he felt regretful to do so and said, as if he disliked to have disclosed a good deed of his. Footnote: Dhat-ur-Riqa literally means of the rags. Narrated Salih bin Khuwat, or Salih bin Abi Hathma, concerning those who witnessed the fear prayer that was performed in the battle of Dhat-ur-Riqa in the company of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him. 1 batch lined up behind him, with another batch lined up facing the enemy. The Prophet, peace be upon him, led the batch that was with him in 1 rak'ah, and he stayed in the standing posture, while that batch completed their 2 rak'ah prayer by themselves and went away, lining in the face of the enemy. While the other batch came, and he, that is, the Prophet, peace be upon him, offered his remaining rak'ah with them, and then kept on sitting till they completed their salah, prayer by themselves, and he then finished his salah, prayer with taslim, along with them. Narrated Ibn Zubayr, Jabir said, we were with the Prophet, peace be upon him, at Nakhl, and then he mentioned the fear prayer. Narrated Al-Qasim bin Muhammad, the Prophet, peace be upon him, offered the fear prayer in the Ghazwa of Banu Anmar. Narrated Sahal bin Abi Hathma, describing the fear prayer. The Imam stands up facing the Qibla, and 1 batch of them, that is the army, out of the 2 offers salah prayers along with him, and the other batch faces the enemy. The Imam offers 1 rak'ah with the first batch, and then they themselves stand up alone and offer 1 bowing and 2 prostrations while they are still in their place, and then go away to relieve the 2nd batch. And the 2nd batch comes and takes the place of the first batch in the salah, prayer, behind the Imam, and he offers the 2nd rak'ah with them. So he completes his 2 rak'ah with taslim. And then the 2nd batch gets up for the 2nd rak'ah, bows and prostrates 2 prostrations. That is, complete their 2nd rak'ah, and thus all complete their salah, prayer. Narrated Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, I took part in a Ghazwa towards Najd along with Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, and we clashed with the enemy, and we lined up for them. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, led the fear prayer with one of the two batches of the army, while the other batch faced the enemy. Then the first batch went away after offering one rak'ah and took places of their companions, that is, second batch. And the second batch came, and he, peace be upon him, led his second rak'ah with them. Then he, that is, the Prophet, peace be upon him, finished his salah, prayer, with taslim, and then each of the two batches got up and completed their remaining one rak'ah. Narrated Sinan and Abu Salama, Jabir mentioned that he had participated in a Ghazwa towards Najd in the company of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullah, may Allah be pleased with them, that he fought in a Ghazwa towards Najd along with Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him. And when Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, returned, he too returned along with him. The time of the afternoon nap overtook them when they were in a valley full of thorny trees. Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, dismounted, and the people dispersed amongst the thorny trees, seeking the shade of the trees. Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, took shelter under a samura tree and hung his sword on it. We slept for a while when Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, suddenly called us, and we went to him to find a Bedouin sitting with him. Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, "This Bedouin took my sword out of its sheath while I was asleep. When I woke up, the naked sword was in his hand, and he said to me, 'Who can save you from me?' I replied, 'Allah.' Now here he is sitting." Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, did not punish him for that. Through another group of narrators, Jabir said, "We were in the company of the Prophet, peace be upon him, during the battle of Dhat-ur-Riqa, and we came across a shady tree, and we left it for the Prophet, peace be upon him, to take rest under its shade. A man from Al-Mushrikun came while the Prophet's sword was hanging on the tree. He took it out of its sheath secretly and said to the Prophet, peace be upon him, 'Are you afraid of me?' The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, 'No.' He said, 'Who can save you from me?' The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, 'Allah.' The companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, threatened him. Then the iqamah for the salah, prayer, was announced, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, offered a 2 rak'ah fear prayer with one of the two batches, and that batch went aside. Then he offered again a 2 rak'ah prayer with the second batch. So the Prophet, peace be upon him, offered 4 rak'ah, but the people offered 2 rak'ah only. The sub-narrator, Abu Bishr, added, "The man was Ghawrath bin al-Harith, and the battle was waged against Muharib Khasafa." Jabir added, "We were with the Prophet, peace be upon him, at Nahl, and he offered the fear prayer." Abu Huraira said, "I offered the fear prayer with the Prophet, peace be upon him, during the Ghazwa, that is, the battle of Najd." Abu Huraira came to the Prophet, peace be upon him, during the days of Khaybar.